Bulls and Glasgow folks in the URC. Bulls have done it 2 weeks in a row. Bulls, who are supposedly, well, generally not that good on the road, have now gone to Munster 1 week and now Glasgow the next and managed to get wins in both games with big defensive shifts. And if it's Glasgow's point of view, you're thinking, is this another week where there's still potentially a little bit of the Champions Cup hangover? Because they didn't exactly set the world alight last week. And now this week, their attack, right until the end, was largely kept pretty quiet. But yes, big tick for the Bulls on the road. And Glasgow may be shaking off a little bit of that hangover towards the end of the game. But yeah, scrum under pressure. And largely being pushed backwards by some pretty incredible Bulls defence. We'll go through some of the key events and stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts on the game. Kind of tentative start early, but potentially one of the most highlight-worthy moments. I hope they show it in the highlights package. Jan Hendrik Wessels, his covering tackle out of nowhere like a flippin' rocket to stop Cancellieri from scoring pretty much a guaranteed try was a proper, a try-saving tackle from him. Glasgow had been looking to go quickly after a free kick had been won from a scrum. But yeah, the Bulls managed to shut them down with that try-saver. Both sides basically early on pretty happy to go through some phases and put boot to ball. But it would become a theme, I think, with the Bulls' line speed that Glasgow kept getting pushed backwards. So in some occasions we're just forced to put boot to ball rather than wanting to put boot to ball, because otherwise they were going to end back up in their own half. Scrum did start to get on top for the Bulls, barring that kind of first early free kick they conceded. Managed to win themselves a penalty from that on 16 minutes, which Hussein duly slotted, so 3 points to nil. That is the lead. Glasgow, when they had a penalty of their own, didn't opt for 3 points. They went for touch, went through phases in the Bulls 22, pushed backwards, can't find the space, and end up with nothing from it. So that was with the kind of Hendrik Wessels tackle. Yeah, a bit of an indication on how things might be going to go for the vast majority of this game. And a few of the Glasgow guys just looked to be sore. They were copping some big hits. I mean, Cancellieri was down for a bit. Kyle Rowe was down for a bit. He ended up having to get subbed. They lost one of their forwards pretty early on in the game. So, yeah, crunching stuff at times. Hussein extended the lead with a 23-minute penalty to make it 6 points to nil. But then the Bulls left the door a little bit open with a bit of a, you can call it ill-discipline, or it's just a slightly high shot from Vilko Low, shoulder to head. It's not a great looking one, to be honest, but the ref finds a way to make that one a yellow card. So yeah, it's he's the second man into the tackle, so he gets yellow carded. And that man advantage takes a while, but Glasgow make it pay, like right towards the end of the yellow card, to be fair. It took some breaking, the Bulls' defence. It really took some breaking. And Glasgow is a team full of attacking threats around the park. They're a team that loves to play quick. They got plenty of players who can beat a man one-on-one in a tackle, plenty of pace, plenty of offloading skills. But it took, as I said, it took a lot. Bulls conceded a penalty. Glasgow had some phases down the Bulls' end. Finally got the wide ball. It was the pass over the top from McDowell to Dobby, who's just come off the bench because Rowe had been substituted. So 7 points to 6. Glasgow go in the lead, but not for long, because the Glasgow scrum gets pinged once again, and later on after the try, obviously, and the Bulls slotted it. So great nudge from Hussein. 9 points to 7 at half time. The Bulls are in the lead. The territory and possession would make you think that Glasgow should be winning, because they had 64% territory, 58% possession. They've had 4 line breaks to 1. But the Bulls have made 110 tackles to 57. Wessels has made 14 of them himself. I think Krobola was the same, which is a heck of a first half shift. And Glasgow have conceded 9 turnovers to 6. So you kind of think that come the second half, it is the tackling team that will be looking tired from making all these tackles. And maybe towards the last couple of minutes there is a bit of that. But for large periods of the second half, it seemed like the Glasgow guys were feeling it more. Maybe it's just being crunched. I don't know. Glasgow changed their props pretty early in the second half because they had been warned with all the scrum penalties they were conceding in the first. So they didn't end up kind of getting any cards from scrums, which is a good bit of management from Franco Smith, because it's never a good look when you just get yellow cards for just plain not being able to scrummage or not being able to kind of compete with the scrum. 45 minutes, Glasgow won a penalty at the breakdown. It was a chance for attack. They missed touch, and guess what happens when you miss touch? You get a scrum. The scrum resulted in a penalty, so the Bulls, able to get back down Glasgow's end, which just seems like shaking my head stuff if you're looking at it from a Glasgow point of view. As soon as they scored, the scrum was coming. The Bulls guys' eyes lit up for sure. Bulls opted for touch on 49 minutes, not 3 points, which was a change of tack from them, because Hulsen had been kicking pretty much everything, and it paid off for the man. They went for the maul. Grobler peeled off, and a couple of the backs, Creel and Moody, had got the awareness to see he was kind of on his own, so they got him behind him, helped shove him over the line. They'll take the credit for it, but yeah, it's a try from Grobler, 16 points to 7. Glasgow tackle off the ball. 5 minutes later, 19 points to 7, and then I write the note, is this game over on 59 minutes, because Glasgow have got a load of phases. It's the ultimate kind of turning defense into attack try. Load of phases. They're getting pushed backwards. They have to opt for the kick. It was probably not really on, the cross kick. I don't know if they were properly set for it. It was a little bit of, as I say, maybe desperation. They go for the cross kick, but it ends up in the Bulls' hands. Hussen is able to just hoof the thing clear, and the chase is hard from the Bulls guys. De Klerk is able to get it as Jordan can't gather it. And, he's able to flick the thing through to a support line of Creel, who goes over for the try. 26 points to 7. That is a long way back for Glasgow, albeit with 20 minutes to play. They've not looked like scoring multiple tries to get back into the game, although that is the final scoring for the Bulls. They go through the final quarter scoreless. Didn't help when Glasgow kicked it dead on 66 minutes. Led to another scrum, a massive shove from the Bulls. But from the next resulting attacking line-out, the Bulls conceded a pretty silly offside penalty, so that was a bit of a let-off. But you had the Bulls doing, Aka van der Merwe puts a little dinking kick through Grubber. Wessels had put a kick through earlier as well in this game, so the front rowers for the Bulls showing a bit of confidence. But yeah, just quite happy to play down Glasgow's end, although Darge, the Lucy for Glasgow, maybe got the best line break of the game. He went 50-odd metres after being put into a gap after a Glasgow line-out, but he was a little bit isolated, so they couldn't actually get a kind of support line to score. But they did score. I thought the first one was just a consolation try on, 77 minutes through Stain. That was the maul, spinning it through the hands, and then they finally found the width they were looking for to beat the Bulls defenders in the corner, 26 points to 12. And then the next one, McDowell a few minutes later, that's the losing bonus point. So more than just a consolation, actual genuine points out of it. When it was, 26 points to 7, it looked like they were going to get absolutely nothing, especially with the scrum going backwards. But yeah, Ollie Smith with the line break, cracking offload out wide, back the other way, and McDowell's able to finish it off, and the conversion means it finishes within 7, and potentially chance to go even further, but they conceded a penalty pretty much from the restart, Glasgow, and the Bulls kicked it out. So that was game over. Couple of late tries from Glasgow make this one look a bit closer than it maybe was. Bulls maybe let off the gas a little bit at the end, or Glasgow finally finding a bit of confidence once the game was dead and buried, but 26-19 for the Bulls. Heck of an away win from them. The possession numbers finish 59-41 to Glasgow, territory 54-46 to Glasgow. The run meters is 660-423 to Glasgow. So like I said, they got heaps of good attacking numbers here, but the tackle count is 180 to 109 to the Bulls, and that is their defensive shift that won them the game, plus the scrum. I mean, Wessels, 17 tackles, 1 turnover, 1 kick, man of the match from him. Forster had 19 tackles. I mean, Tom Jordan had 103 metres and 7 defenders beaten. But like I said, it was just kind of hard to go through phases with the Bulls defenders up in their faces, pushing them backwards. So, yeah, Bulls on the road, 2 weeks in a row, looking in good form come the business end of the season. Glasgow, well, with those 2 tries towards the end of the game, maybe finish with a little bit more confidence than if it finished, with a 26-7 scoreline. But Glasgow are away to Benetton next, which could be a pretty interesting game. And the Bulls are back in South Africa. They will be at home to Cardiff, looking to finish the season strong. You guys let us know your thoughts on the game. Where does this see both these sides in terms of their contendership for the URC? You guys take care, and talk to you guys again soon. See you later.